Violet, and today we are going deep into drugs and addiction. Today we have...
Hey guys, my name is Derek Dalton. I'm from Walnut Cove, North Carolina.
And we will be talking about the opioid crisis that is going on, what leads you there, what we went through. Also, we're going to discuss the treatment option. And if you are thinking about quitting and you are going through recovery, this might be the video to push you to help with that. So, yeah, you ready?
Of course.
Do you feel like an addiction is a drug or not? I mean, a disease or not?
A disease?
Yeah.
So it's like a 50-50 type question right there. You know what I mean? Because no matter, you know, it's just split. But I'm gonna keep the focus on me. It is a disease because I'm gonna deal with it every day. Right. You know, for the rest of my life. Right. I'm gonna always have it in my mind, no matter how much I pray about it, to just, you know, wipe it away. It'll never go away. You know what I mean? The constant thoughts about it, the memories about it, what I could have did better, what I could have did worse, type things in my mind. So yeah, it is a disease. Because
sometimes I feel like it depends on where you came from, or you know what I'm saying, like what the situation is. Because I feel like when you're taking pills, like, I don't feel like if it's too deep into an addiction, it becomes a disease. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when you have control over your mind, but not the addiction, is when it's not a disease. But when it takes over your whole body, I feel like that's when it becomes, like heroin users, I feel like that's when it becomes a disease. Right. Because they're always, nothing else, nothing matters but that drug. Yeah. You know?
But see, you know, with me, like I said, I'm keeping the focus on me. I did everything that it is except shoot it in my veins, you know. I did heroin, cocaine, pills. Pills that I didn't even know the names of, I done them. You know what I mean? So, crack cocaine, you know, of course. Dabbled with meth. That's why, for me, you know, it is a disease, because I'm gonna constantly, you know.
It's a constant recovery.
It'll be with me. Yeah. You know, every day. You know what I mean? From hours of waking up all the way to minutes before I rest at night. So, yeah. For me, it is a disease. I mean, you know, but to each his own. Yeah. Because I'm no worse, I'm no better. Right. I would never, you know, portray drugs as like, hey, you know, that type of thing. But for the focus to be kept on me, it is. Yeah. You know.
I don't think mine was. I think it was just an addiction, because it was like, oh, let me go make a couple tips real quick, go and get this Adderall, and then I'll go back to work, and then I'll go out and have fun. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it was pretty easy, but it went on for so long. And then as soon as I got pregnant, I was like, shit, how the hell am I gonna stop this? You know, so it was like 8-9 years of 120 milligram Adderalls constantly, like 6 days without sleep. I went to sleep and slept for 27 hours, and Mom was about to call the damn ambulance because she was scared I wasn't gonna wake up. Right. Okay, do you believe marijuana is a gateway drug?
Like I said, all of these answers.
But for right now, like with the day and age that we are in, do you believe it's a gateway drug?
I don't think that it's a gateway drug, because it's become so, you know, regular. You hear about it. So it's like more recreational now. You know, it's like a way of life. You know what I mean? Like everybody is doing it. You know what I mean? So, back in my heyday, right? It was one of the first things that we did. Yeah. You know what I mean? And for me, it would be a gateway drug.
Yeah.
You know, and one of them, because I partook in pills earlier.
Right.
The pills is what led me to something more.
Yes.
You know, so way back in the dinosaur age for me, yes, it is a gateway drug.
I think it can be now, depending on like who you're around. You know, like the society that you're around. If you're around people that smoke weed to really help themselves, I don't think they'd be like, oh, let me go take this Adderall, you know. But if you're around people who look at it as a drug, like, oh, let me go sell this, let me deal this, you know, then it could become, because if you put a new person in there, they're like, and they're watching these people do all these things with this way of marijuana.
Right.
They're going to be like, well, what are we selling next? Let me try one of those.
Yeah, so, you know.
It just depends on who and where you are.
You hit on something right there, and it took me to another place, you know, like marijuana has so many different positive things with it that, you know, people never actually took a look at.
Yeah.
You know, so with seizures and, you know, all of these medical
anxiety.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what are they doing to it?
Right.
Is the thing. You know, because we smoked it straight from the ground back in my day. You know what I mean? We knew where the plants were, and we you know, we did our own. It was all experimentation. But now there's strains of it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what are they, you know? But that's another question. That's
whole
neither here nor
dimension.
there.
Right.
As far as getting back into the actual question of a gateway drug, you know, because it's so many positives that they're, you know, they're coming up.
Well,
with.
but like they say, you know, if you abuse it, that's when it becomes.
Right. Well, that's
like
what took me.
drug.
That's why I'm a recovering
Right.
addict, because
Right.
I abused everything that, you know,
Yeah.
it could be abused.
Yeah.
You know, even putting sugar on a cigar. You know what I mean? So if I could get high with it and figured out some kind of way to get high with it, I did it. You know,
Right.
you know, and I was so bad because I couldn't afford marijuana, so I figured out substitutes
that weren't the best substitute.
Right.
Right.
But you know, yeah.
And it happens. What are your thoughts on prescription drugs?
Man, you know, like I said, prescription drugs is what led me on my whole roller coaster ride. You know, I was raised by my grandparents, and I used to see my grandma, you know, my granny, taking pills. You know, she had this little thing like SMT, the whole week deal.
Yeah.
And I saw all these, you know, bottles. So
yeah,
I would rate them. You know what I mean? I didn't know what I was taking at the time. I really can't like put an actual age to when I started this, but it was way early. You know what I mean? Like 13, 14 maybe.
Yeah.
You know, and like back then in my day, like I'm a dinosaur. You know, it's like unheard of. You know what I mean? You know, nowadays it's common.
So common.
So was I one of the first to jump off the porch, as they say now? I don't know. But you know, I'm not glorifying any of this. You know, just to like my earliest recollection, because it's like gaps. It's like the brain of a CTE patient. You know what I mean? It's I have holes there. I can't remember things like a normal person, because I you know, I punished my body. You know what I mean? And I didn't realize it. But you know, prescription pills, drugs, prescription drugs.
Right.
That's what led me on this whole deal.
But I feel like if you have came off of prescription pills and you go to the hospital with a problem after you have been off of them for a while, I think you should find another way around that. You should not take what they give you from the hospital, because a lot of them get it from the damn doctors. So if it's such a big problem right now, why not go and find another way to go about prescription drugs? Even though Big Pharma is wanting all this shit to happen and everybody's dying. But, you know, it's a very big thing on what to control and what not to control, I suppose. But, all right, so do you think music and movies are a big contributing factor when it comes to young people turning to drugs now? And should they up the age on PG movies? Can I go first, please?
Sure.
Okay, so
ladies first.
PG-13 movies. When I was in school, PG-13 movies weren't even bad. Now, it's horrible. Is it not?
Right.
It is horrible.
Well
like,
just, you know,
not have a rating on it. It should literally be like PG-16 or 15. Because I think when you're 13, you're just hitting your teenage years. So that's when puberty is starting. That's when all your testosterone is hitting your body. That's when all of our hormones are like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I don't think anybody under the age of 15 should be singing any of this. And then you have all these rappers and stuff talking about, you know, Becky and Susie and popping mollies and drinking lean. You know, so it's making all these people like, hey, let me be like them, but that's not the right role model. That would be like Cardi B getting mad at her daughter because she does this shit that she talks about in her music. Or Chris Brown.
I'm 100%.
Or Chris Brown getting mad at his daughter because of her doing the stuff that she talks about. Or that he talks about in his music.
Yeah.
You know? But you have to be like that kind of role model. Right or no?
I mean, you know, so the music.
Right.
The music that I came up on, they were drug dealers.
Yeah.
You know, they sold this stuff. Now the music is, they taking the same drugs that they supposedly.
Right. Okay, ready for the next one?
Sure.
All right. Why don't you think people see the wrong in their addiction?
Like I said, all of these answers that I'm going to give to your questions are going to be like 100% on me.
Right.
I never saw the wrong because I was so blinded by it. I was so infatuated by the lifestyle that the drugs had me thinking that I was in.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was like a smoke screen to my actual reality. I, you know, the euphoria of it all had taken me to a fairy tale place that I created in my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really wasn't living in reality. I was living in
a drug alley.
Well, that and you know, but it was this character that I imagined in my mind.
When you were coming off your addiction, was there a substitute hobby or a thing that you did that always made you feel better? So like singing or reading or writing or...
Well...
Like what did you do and then what could possibly help?
You know, I turned into an avid sneakerhead. You know what I mean? It's like I spent so much money on drugs and, you know... It's a song that Young Jeezy say.
Right.
You know, what he spent at the club last night, he could have bought a Range Rover. I could have bought like 6 of them. You know, couple of houses. You know, because the money, I'd seen it, I touched it, and it went right through my hands because, you know, it was a rapid turnover for me.
Yeah. I
get the money, I go get more drugs, I get high. Try to figure out how I was going to make the money back so I could go get more drugs and get high. But, yeah, I turned into like just crazy sneakerhead, man, and just recently I like turned away from all of that. You know what I mean? Because I just went straight to joy.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, just for an example, for an instance, you know, me and one of my friends, you know, my associates, we had went out, we had been binging, and we got broke, and we ran up on easy come up, you know what I mean? And we had drugs. We got in a motel, and you know, been up like 3 or 4 days. Even though there was a shower in there, we didn't think about taking no shower, man. Feet stinking, you know, just didn't care. But we went to the Foot Locker. You know, we both bought Air Jordans, and it was like, that was like a proud moment for me. You know what I mean? I was like, wow, I'm getting high, you know what I mean? But I still had money to get shoes. You know, so, and that stuck with me. So it was like, I got clean, you know, I started, you know, seeing my face, like feeling back out, and then I wanted to just buy. If it had a name brand on it, even if it didn't match, I had a red shirt on with green pants and yellow shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I bought this, and I'm, you know, so.
Just think how many shoes you would have now if you did not do any drugs
it would
whatsoever.
Be stupid, man.
It would
them
be
guys on YouTube,
lot,
that, you know what I mean?
It'd be a lot. All right, what makes some people comfortable with the person they become while they're addicted?
I don't think that anyone becomes comfortable with it. I think that they figure out a way to just
I think
exist.
When you're high, you're comfortable because you think you're in your right state of mind.
Because it's a level that it takes you to. You know, you're like the highest of high. Yeah. You're the you're the highest in the room. Like, I'm the highest in the room. You know, I'm looking down on everybody. Right. You know, I don't think that you ever think that you're comfortable. No. You just think that you're better than, because the drugs will make you feel in so many different emotions. You're superior, even though, you know, you're withering away. You know, day by day, you're withering away. You're taking every time you partake of something, you're taking a chance at, you know, succumbing to it. You know, not even making it back from it. So my answer to that is, I don't think you're ever comfortable. You in your right mind, in your right nervous system first. So, you know, if that answered that, I don't. Hopefully.
All right. Now that you're sober, what are your thoughts on drugs, and how was your journey?
So now that I'm sober, you know, I see everything that I can have. Yeah. You know, and I actually, like, through God, you know, is my higher power. As if it, you know, if anybody is out there watching, you know, that's in the rooms, you know, they say, if you don't, you know, if you can't use God, use even the doorknob. But for me, I can recall, you know, pulling on the doorknob and the screws were loose and the doorknob actually came off. So, you know, I can't use that as my high power. Right. I just have to use, you know, I even ran tests, you know, on the God thing. I held my breath as long as I could. I didn't pass out. I didn't die. You know, that was just enough for me to know that it is somebody that created me, and he has the last say so. But, you know, I'm sorry. I got a little
how was your journey?
My journey has been hard, man. You know what I mean? It's like day to day. It's like on certain days, it's minute to minute. Yeah. You know, they say one day at a time, but like I said, certain days it has to be minute to minute, because it's the small things for me as a recovering addict that can take me to that place that I don't want to be at.
Like a damn.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's hard, but at the end of the day, it's so satisfying. You know, it's so rewarding. you know, to actually see what you can become, to actually, you know, do things that you never thought that you could do. You know, I've been clean for, 12 years, May, I think, somewhere in there. November 11th, 2008. So, you know, it's been rough. You know, I never thought that I'd make it this far. I seen people fall by the wayside when I was early in my recovery because they used, you know, their anniversaries as like some big
thing.
You know what I mean? Not knowing that, hey, if I got 5 years, then I need to get 6.
Right.
You know, but they use it as like 5 years was like,
the math.
I'm completed.
Yeah.
You know, like this thing is not a day-to-day war because, you know, God is real and the devil is as well. So, you know, I can never say that I'm 100.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's a 50-50 battle within me every day. You know, but I know where I want to go. Once you start seeing, like,
what can happen?
Once you start seeing the fruits of your labor, just, you know, even just at day one, you know, you don't feel like shit when you wake up the next day. Or, you know, you don't cry because you woke up, you know, and be mad at the world because you woke up. You know, just a little bit of my testimony.
Yeah.
You know, I got to my lowest. You know what I mean? And like, it was these episodes that led me to go get help.
Yeah.
So I stole some money, I think, from my grandma, maybe. Or I got some money from my grandpa, something like that. And, you know, stole the car to go out and get some drugs and used them. And I ran out. And I was so mad that I ran out so quick because I had, like, allotted. You know what I mean? I was like, just like the little prescription, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
I had put it all in sections, like this is how I was going to do it. And
you was budgeting your drugs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I just ran through it, like, you know, and I thought that maybe God did it. You know what I mean? Took it from me. So I got so mad. And I said, you know, I cussed him out. Told him to come down and I would fight him, you know. And I had a Bible, you know. I grabbed the Bible and I tore it all up, you know. Said, come down here, fight me, you know. And, you know, I had no money. And it was late and I was like, man, I can't go out anywhere and try to find, you know. And I prayed, you know, I would constantly pray that I wouldn't wake up. And I'd wake up in the morning and I'd cry because I didn't want to wake up, you know, because I had taken myself so low. You know, my mom had said, you know, like I said, this is all in this time frame before I went to get treatment. So, you know, my mom had saw me. I'd been out on the bench, you know, and out. Probably 7 days because I'd go out for like 7 days and I'd go to a convenience store and steal peanuts. You know, that was my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know, whatever I could steal out of a convenience store. You know, because I wanted all the money that I could figure out, sell dummies or, you know, fake drugs or whatever, take something from somebody, just so I could continue my habit. You know, and I went to this place, you know, this house, this residence, someone's residence to use drugs, and the lights, they had no power there, so they were, the lights were the oil lamps.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is all leading up to me, going to get treatment. The light flickered. I partook and they were getting ready to use or whatever, and the light flickered. And when they looked back, it was like I saw their face change, like demon face. Sort of like The Devil's Advocate, the movie.
Where the face is like so distorted.
Yeah. So I actually saw that, and it was like I thought I was gonna have a heart attack.
Right.
Because I was already high, my heart beating, everything was racing on me because at that time I was like heavy in crack cocaine, like super crack monster type deal. So, it was like I can recall it. It's like I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. I was like,
like you couldn't breathe.
I
like,
froze.
What the hell is
and they
this?
were like looking like it was crazy.
Yeah.
So from there, I made it back home, and the next following day, I saw two guys from a neighborhood. They looked like they were like lights were shining on them. You know what I mean? And I hadn't saw them in a while. Like, hey, where y'all been? And they told me this place, a rehabilitation. They said it's a long term.
Is that the one you went to?
Yeah. I had went through numerous, places. But before this one, I had went to a place in Winston-Salem, and I just went there because that's what my family thought. You know what I mean? So I wasn't 100% in it.
It was like a temporary thing.
It was like just somewhere for me to go to keep my family off my back.
Right.
But they said you need to fill out, write to them a little essay on why you think you should be admitted and all that, And at that time I was on my last, everything like God lined it up for me. You know what I mean? Like I say all of that just to say that, don't pay attention to everything. The signs are there. If you out there and using drugs or trying to figure out how to better yourself to come off of them, self-will, that's one thing. But self-will, because if I would have stayed out there on the streets, I would either overdosed or I would have killed somebody to get it, or somebody would have killed me because I was trying to get them for it. So it's true what they say, like in the big book and within the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous and AA. The end results are always the same: jails, institution, and death.
Yeah.
So I was rapidly heading in that direction, and I really didn't care, but it was like I said, God aligned everything.
Yeah.
How to better. Because, this thing it's an epidemic, man. It's never going to stop.
And right now it's probably horrible. It's sad.
It's we got to do it one person at a time.
Yeah.
We can't think that 1,000 people are going to change and stop using drugs because it's a market. The higher ups, they make money off of these drugs. That everybody is out here hustling, and that's never gonna stop.
Right.
But the people that really need the help, the people that think that there is no other choice for them, it's no options. There's always an option, because I thought that, and I'd even claimed that I was gonna die, using drugs, But, God had other plans for me.
Right.
And he has other plans for all of y'all.
Everybody.
So like...
Well, in Trosa, do they teach you how to be ready?
It's all about structure there.
Oh, is it? Okay.
They teach you.
Yeah.
Everything. They have so many skill trades there. I'm not connected with anyone in Trosa now, so I don't know if things have changed. Connected with them, so I don't know if things have changed there. But you know, when I went 2008, you know, they teach you trades. You know, you can go to school. You know, it's so many options. Yeah. You can even stay on as staff, you know, because that's what I was working on doing. You know, I was so society. I was so shook of actually stepping back out and failing. That's what it was, because my family, they would commute to come see me on family days that they had, and oh, you looking so good, and everybody was so proud of me. You know what I mean? But I was still so unsure. Even though I saw my face getting fatter, I was hitting the gym and I'm eating like 5 times a day. So, you know, when I came in there, I weighed 135. And they took a picture of me, and it looked like I was a skeleton. You know, and they put it on a board, like where everybody walking on the main hallway, like, look how where everybody could see it. Everybody there sees, oh, you was dead. You was you know, the Walking Dead. You know, and my first few months there, I remember I would never go by there because I was so ashamed. You know, and then I actually saw it, and it was like I was dead. You know, which I was. I was just a shell of a man. You know, but it's a great place. You know, like I said, I'm not associated with anyone there as far as like how everything is, the operation is. But you know, if anybody out there needs that long-term type of treatment, it's definitely a great option. Nobody can give you advice. It'll be up to you to take that step. See, first thing I would do is just pray about the whole situation. You know, God is going to lead you where you need to be. But like, as far as those places, no. I'm trying to get away from the negativity that I surrounded myself in, and I actually enjoy, because I was in active addiction, and I knew, hey, I can go here, I can go here and get it. You know, but I would never go somewhere back like to that. And then as soon as I open the door, I see him standing right there, and I say, let me get one. You know. It don't matter how far down the scale that you have went. It don't matter how far the scale up you are. You know, drugs is real, and it destroys everything. It's like you know, the Tasmanian devil, when he starts spinning, and he just tear up everything. You know, that's what drugs does to relationships, you know, and people's lives. You know, no matter who in the way, it's just a constant little tornado. But you know, no matter how far down the scale you come, you know, or whatever you into, whatever the drugs have taken you to do, you know what I'm saying? You still got purpose in this life. You know what I mean? You still mean something to people. You know what I mean? Whether people throw all kind of negativity and whatever the rappers say, call you crackheads, and, you know, and people bob their head to it and want to be so-called gangsters or whatever the case may be. You still got a purpose in this life. You know what I'm saying? You can still motivate people. You know what I mean? But you got to get motivated yourself. You know, keep pushing. You know, just keep pushing. You know, a brighter day is ahead. You know, I posted this on Facebook one time. You know, rough patches turn into paved roads. And I believe that, you know, everything is not, as soon as you say, you know, you done with drugs and then you make it day one, day two, you know, you still on them, that rough roads, you know, you still, you know, when you're driving down the highway. That's how it is. But eventually, you gonna drive right out of it on the paved road.
Yeah.
You know, I'm living proof of it. You know, I'm still nowhere near where I want to be, man, at my age. But I'm working on, you know, I got so many things that I'm working on, like what I'm going to leave behind. I'm trying to leave a legacy. Mm-hmm. You know, something that, you know, my kids mm-hmm. will have. You know, and it ain't about the materialistic things that I have, you know, things that break down right. And, you know, you got to fix. You know, it's something that's going to withstand time to come. It's still going to be there. Mm-hmm. A legacy, a real legacy, you know. So I just encourage everybody, you know, 1 minute at a time, you know, you can change your life. You can get off of it. Mm-hmm. You know, you can get off of drugs. If I did it, I know anybody can do it because I was the world's worst. Yeah. You know.
Not agreeing with you, but.
I know I was.
Agreeing with you.
I know I was.
Not saying you personally, but.
You know. But also, one more thing, and that's probably going to be all that I got, you know. What really changed me and took me to another level in my recovery, I had to go to them people that I harmed, man. You know, and I was so scared, you know, because I did a lot of good people wrong, you know, and I asked them for forgiveness, you know, and it was like sort of, you know, they forgave me on the spot, but shortly after that, it was like, they sent me a message, you know what I mean? And said that they really forgive me and they love me. And that took me to another level, like, I feel like crying, you know. But, yeah.
It's okay.
That's real.
Yeah.
So, the people that you harm, you got to ask for forgiveness. It's the only way.
And it may be a scary thing. It may be a scary thing.
If you can't say it,
mm-hmm.
you know,
shoot them a message or.
You can find them on Facebook.
Yeah.
The way social media is now, you can find anybody. You can find anybody, you know. If they no longer here, that you can ask them for forgiveness, because one person, you know, throughout my, you know, ways, you know, he passed on by violent means, you know, and I just took it to God, you know, and that's the way that the drugs will whoop you so bad, you know. But yeah, I love you all, you know, and I hope that not I can help somebody, you know, because I'm just a vessel. I hope that, because I know I was rambling, you know, of course. That's how recovering addicts are. We can't stay on topic, man. But, you know, I hope that people will get help, seek help. You know, if they need treatment, find it. If you know a family member that's out there, you know, using it, you got to tell them that you love them, man. Because like I said, I never heard that until I started getting clean. People would say that they love me, and it made me feel some kind of way. It made me feel like I could do it. You know what I'm saying? So, hey man, I love you all. And you can recover. We do recover. I'm living proof of it. 1 minute at a time, bro.
Not even day by day.
Right.
Just minute by minute.
Yeah, definitely.
Hour by hour. It's a struggle. Well, we truly hope this video helps people and gets to the right person who might need it. But thank you for coming and being here.
Yeah, definitely.
And I hope this helps to anybody who needs it. He also went to Trosa. It was in Durham, North Carolina. So if anybody does need help and you know you're at that point to where you have to push yourself, go ahead and, you know, get in contact with somebody to help you. Because sometimes a lot of people don't have the willpower to take themselves and lock them in a room. Anyway. So yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. And if you have any questions, comments, remarks, anything, leave them in the comment section below. Share it and it might help somebody. We hope you guys have a good night.
Want a cold, baby.
Bye, y'all.